Yes. So I welcome one and all to the world of political science, right? To my world. Okay. So where this is my 25th year of life with political science, not about teaching, where I joined the college, right? So PG for doing a master's in political science. Okay. And by this year, I complete 17th year of mentoring and entering 18 years, right? You may ask, பொறந்தோனே political science படிச்சீங்களா சார்? It's not like that, right? So that the love towards the subject made me stand here and made me what I am. Okay, right? So, yeah, many of you have come here to get an idea for what political science is, and many of you have already decided to go for political science often. But still, I always start my batch with the orientation. So, giving a final chance for you to escape from me. Okay, right? So, if not, right, then we have to continue. Okay, right? Say, PSIR, very fondly called by the UPSC aspirants, political science and international relations. It's a very popular option indeed, right from our time. Where there were two options then, now there is only one option. Say, I always begin my orientation with the quote of Plato, right? Since you come here for political science, where Plato says, anything well begun is half done. Anything well begun is half done. Yes, right? So, what is a well beginning? So, for me, if you ask, it will be the choice of right options. And I always say, I'm the right person to say that because I have been to the interview thrice, I've taken 5 mains, despite the fact I have not succeeded, I stand here. Or maybe success is not defined in these parameters, but still, right? I stand here for my own reasons. The thing is, wrong choice of optionals. Okay, where there are two options at that time, and political science is my parent option. So I experimented with political science and sociology, political science and geography, political science and psychology. Okay, so where at last I found that I would have stuck to political science and sociology, or at least in the last attempt, I should not have changed the option to psychology. So it means that there must be some consistency, right, and patience in going for the options. So that cost me dear. Say, there were times when there were less number of vacancies. It was 410, 350, and the last time into the interview was 286 vacancies. Now, of course, we get 800 plus 1000, so there's a different story. And when my attempts are over, still I have age to write the exam, but the attempts are over. The very next year, the calfor was 800, which means that, right, I am destined to be here, right? So, of course, I never regret that. Very, very happy about that, right? So, because I'm seeing a lot of people like you. So, there I realized one thing. So, there is some strategy in civil service preparation. It is not the brilliant people who make into it. It is, you can see it, right? So, not all are IITians. So, this year, this is who is a first rank? Good. Which option to go for first rank? History option. Many people fear history. Okay. But still, the all-India topper was from history discipline, which means that I'm here to say that all the options are equally good. There is no such an option called easy optional. All the options are easy, or also all the options are tough, depending on the person who prefer it. Therefore, right, I never say, right, political science is the only best optional. If it is the best optional, then all the people writing names will be going for PSIR, right? It is not so. So what I realized that I made some strategical error. So where brilliance doesn't matter. It is, right, the right strategy. What is the right strategy? Or getting hold of the right strategy. So where the beginning, I say, it starts from where to begin and what to begin. And I say, right, the first thing is about choice of options. Though options contribute to only 500 marks, but still it play an important role. Say the 30 to 40 marks which you, right, so going to show as a lead is going to decide 200 to 250 ranks. That is what the importance of optionals. Say if there are two optionals and I'm so wavering between this and that optional, now there is no scope for two. There is only one, right? Changing the optional. Say I studied this optional last year. Say I want to change. It's no more a luxury. Right? So no more a right? So affordable one. It's a luxury, I say. Right? Why? Because losing 1 year means what? 1.5 years in preparation in UPSC. You have to wait for another 1.5 years. Time. You cannot get it back. So that is precious. Say, given enough time and without any pressure, I say 50% of the civil service aspirants will clear the examination. But it is not so. Right? So time never waits for anyone else. So which I say that, right? You should be intelligent enough to go for the right choice of option. Where political science would be a right choice for you. That's why you are here. Okay, right? So the orientation for political science begins with why political science, whether it is going to be right optional, and a feel good factor about political science, and yeah, right. So a sneak peek into what the syllabus is like and what are the questions, something like that. Okay, right? And of course, I believe that every one of you have gone through the at least if not political science syllabus, GS syllabus. Yes, it is. Can I take it for S online? Yes,
Yes,
to
sir.
some extent. You know what a government is, what a state is. Yes? Okay. Again, I say there are other state students, right? Sometimes I used to talk in Tamil, but the same thing will be repeated in English also for the benefit of the regional students, right? And I say, right? Of course, the classes will be in English, right? Sometimes I utter some here and there words, right? Say, the thing is, again I say, English is after all a language, right? मुझे हिंदी नहीं मालूम, right? So this is it, okay, right? But still, right? I never hate languages and I never discriminate languages. The thing is, the classes will be in English, but still here and there I use something for the convenience of our students who come from rural background, and of course, right? So you won't miss a thing. So it will be there. Okay. So that's I'll take, right? Then, so coming to this thing, say we plan to take the exam by 2023. That's why we are here. And we are ahead by this July going to start. And you know, the syllabus comes with two papers. Okay, right? Each paper has two sections. In paper one, there is a section A which has 10 units and section B which has 11 units. On the whole, 21 units. Okay. Similarly, in paper 2, section A, we have 11 units and section B, we have 8 units. On the whole, 19. 21 and 19 put together, we have 40 units. Quite a wider syllabus. Okay, right? 40 units. Remember that. Right. And if you look at the syllabus, it is the syllabus of right the Allahabad University and to some extent JNU, where students are enrolled for a 2-year program, master degree program, where 2-year master degree program, and we are going to complete in 6 months. First of all, you would understand, right? We're going to complete entire thing in 6 months. Okay. Let me, right? So, tell you knowledge. In college, if it is 3 years course, you have 6 semesters. If it is 4 years course, you have 8 semesters. If it is PG, it is 4 semesters. So, how much time do you prepare for, or how much time will it take to prepare for the semester exam? How much? 1 month. One night. Okay. So now that brings the right. So thing easy. Or that makes the thing easier. One night. Okay. So I prepare for 5 days at least. Okay, right? 5 into 4, 20 days. Okay. So you're able to clear. That's it, right? You're not going to carry forward, apply anywhere else, nothing. Right? So just you're aware of the syllabus, and once you study, you forget it. That's it. Whereas here, you have to retain this, apply it, understand it, and get into it till you get into the service, which means you have to put some extra effort. So where 6 months is an ample and enough time for the right aspirants. I say many people say, sir, 6 months is not enough. How can I master an option? Again, I say the purpose you are here is not to master the option, to right make it a tool, or just in political science term, be an utilitarian in your approach, where this option, how this option is going to help me into get into service. That is it, right? So where this is a competitive examination, not academic examination, where you can show your understanding, not your proficiency. Proficiency is not at all needed here. Only the understanding is needed here. How good or how right so different you are from others. That really makes sense because the examiner doesn't know whether you are a boy or girl, right? Whether you are 21 years old or 30 years old, nothing, right? So which category you belong, nothing, right? The answer you write is the medium of communication between you and the examiner. So therefore here, right? So it is up to right, just to show the difference. That is right. Where this optional is a 40-unit optional, where each section carries equal weightage. Each section carries equal weightage. You know, right? The pattern is what? 250 marks. The 250 marks, right? So section A 4 into 50, section B 4 into 50. Altogether 8 questions will be there. Out of the 8 questions, how many questions you have to write? 5. 5 out of 8. 3 can be left in the choice, of which 1 and 5 are compulsory. 1 and 5 are compulsory. Say in paper 1, the 1 and 5th question corresponds to comment questions, where they are 150 words and they are compulsory. 150 words they are compulsory. 5 questions in each unit, where 10 questions are compulsory, where you don't have a choice at all. And here comes, right, so the actual knowledge of political science, right? Say whether you are fit for political science can be known from this question. So the examiner will be impressed, right? So if you write the common question, well, then automatically the rest is just a cakewalk, right? So where I say this is in paper 1. And in paper 2, again, this 1 and 5 are compulsory, but they are not a common question, but short notes. So where the essence of what we studied is going to be presented here, right? I say all the units carry equal weightage, equal marks. Yes, right? 4 questions from each unit. Whether it is 11 units or 8, it doesn't matter. 4 questions from each unit. But the time we are going to allot for study is different. I say if you complete section A of paper 1, I will say that 50% of your syllabus is over. Even though it contributes only 25% of the syllabus, that is marks. But if you finish section A of paper 1, then I will say that, right? So 50% of preparation is over. This is what the right strategy is. Knowing where to put emphasis, right? And which area to take lightly, and which are the overlapping areas in GS. All these things should be known. That is why you are here. That is why I am here, right? So where what this optional is and how you are going to deal with it. Right. Before going into this, every time I ask my students, what are the criteria for selecting an optional? Let me show you. Okay, I don't want to give you that hardship. Let me show you. Whether this criteria you kept in mind for choosing an optional. Anything else you thought? I'll add to it. This is the criteria. Whether this popular, whether this option is popular. Yes or no? Philosophy is a popular optional. Of course, in Delhi, right? If you may not be aware of course, in Delhi, right? Say the reason why many of the options are not popular in the south, down south, is that there are no right so experienced faculties. Okay, right? So where it is definitely weaker side here. Whereas in Delhi, right, there are options for mathematics. People take mathematics. People take economics. Whereas here you run off. Why? There is no right such thing. Okay, so let us say popularity. Then what? Success ratio. Definitely. Availability of material as well as guidance. Nature of the subject. Whether it is concrete, right? Whether I'll get questions from that, right? Whether it is right, so very vague. Then what? Usefulness. How is going to help in GS, SA, interview. Then whether this option really right, suits you. That's the main thing. Person versus the option. Okay, right? So where I have fond of many options. Okay, say my roommate is studying Tamil literature. He won't study, but I will be reading the Tamil books out of curiosity. Okay, curiosity kills the cat. That was an happened to me. Now, what do you see? Popularity. The political science a popular option. Yes, right? We try to make it popular. Okay, even if it's not, we try to make it popular. Okay, then success ratio. I'll show you, right? So the 65th annual report by UPSC, where it has a record over the optionals where 1,000 plus candidates, right? And it maintained a database, and I have taken something from that. I'll show you. Okay, right? And for for information, literatures fare well. Literatures fare well, but right, the takers are very less, right? So that is why it is not being referred to the success ratio, right? But still, again, this availability of material and guidance is a matter. Then you see, right? Say availability of material as well as guidance. So where once upon a time, while we're preparing, there are books prescribed by the veterans, so who used to take the examination, and most of the books were of foreign authors, where it will be like C.L. Weber, G.K. Sabine, Norman and Barry, right? So, where Palmer Perkins, you can't understand a word, even though you are good in English, you can't understand a word of, you cannot get hold of. It is written for the British people, not for the Indians. We are going to take the Indian civil service, not the British civil service. So, where it is something where I studied anything. Then, right? So, a book by original book by Morgan Thorpe, right? So, then by Henry Kissinger, you should study a lot. That helped me to become a mentor, not to achieve the civil service. We do not have the right source of material. Now, right? If you just click the word, the Google will come with 50 suggestions. And again, you are click standard to left with which book to go for. Okay, but there are umpteen number of sources. You can't say that there is no source. Yes, there is source, right? And of course, there are many self-tutored gurus, not only me, right? There are many people available. I say there are many people good as me, right? Better than me, right? So it is there. But still, I say guidance is available. Okay, then the nature of the subject. Okay, what is it? So the political science is arts or a science. Even though it comes with the name science, art or a science. In theory, we will study that it is both an art and science. But here I will say that it is an art. It is an art subject, humanities. That's why we call it as humanities. And of course, every human will have a natural penchant towards humanity. Since you are humans, right, you can easily understand any humanities. Okay, right? Yes, I will make it understand, right? So that's why you are here, right? Political science made easy, right? Again, so that usefulness. How is it going to be useful? Let us go for it. Here lies the importance of political science as an evergreen. I used the word, right? Right from the time the civil service was started, the option of political science was there. Not only here, when to the Cornwallis, where political philosophy was a subject of the British civil service. Okay, so it is there. It is an age-old subject, right? Now, I say popularity. The most popular option in India. Do you know what it is? It is public administration. It is not by the numbers. How you say popularity? It's by the numbers. Okay. The second most appear political science career. Again, second most is not political science. It is geography. Okay. The third most popular, sociology. The fourth most popular is political science. I'm saying it's not the first popular subject, but I'm saying that it's the fourth most popular. Going by the numbers. I'm going by the numbers, right? Then success ratio. Okay. So the most popular. Say here two options alternate. So which has more success ratio or not, right? The first is sociology this year, right? And the next is PSIR. PSIR last year. Okay. Both alternates, both has an average of 9.9 to 11.2% success ratio. That is, those people who opted for these optionals have the chance of clearing is what? Around 10%. Let us say around 10%. And you know, which is the least, right? So, Success ratio optional. Geography. Again, success ratio is about what? Number of people versus number of people cleared. I say literature, people will clear, right? It may be around 20%, but still it's not reflected here. Why? More than 1,000 people are not taking it. That's the reason. It is not a very popular option. Max is not a popular option. The success ratio may be good. Okay, right? Now here, the least thing according to the popular option is geography followed by public administration. Both works out around 5.42 to 6.9. That's it, right? So, of course, you can go and reach the 64th and 65th annual survey of UPSC where they will come with the survey report. So, which means what, right? Yes, this option is popular and also it has a very good success ratio. The only option which can rival political science is sociology. And I know both, right? For 2 mains I have taken sociology. And the first interview I went with political science and sociology. And I asked more questions in sociology than political science. Okay, right? So it is. Knowledge of sociology will help in political science also. Then, availability of material as well as guidance. So, I see a lot of people, right? Say from this year, the test batch is going on, where around some 30 to 40 people from Delhi taking the test, right? Sir, whether this material is enough for me. You have been brought up in such a way that, right, I'm ready to study anything, provided you tell me the right source. This is enough. This is what we ask for, right? I say, this is not an academic examination, this is a competitive examination where you are going to outwit others. Each and every mark counts here, right? 1 mark is going to determine 20 or 30 ranks. So, in such a competitive atmosphere, right, you cannot rely this is the only source. Say, I say that the Delhi madam, of course, she is a very good academician and her note is excellent. The note is excellent, comparatively speaking, but it's of pure academic nature, where, right, you have to work upon it. Yes, it's a standard material. We have to work upon it and you have to put your extra effort to make your own answers. The question is put to you, okay, right? Not to Kamaraj or anyone else. It is put to you. Therefore, you should produce your own answers, not the replica of what is given in the notes. That is why I always say that, right? Standard textbooks. Textbook studying is always better than notes, right? So, of course, I will also be giving notes. So, I will be dictating class notes and extra materials I will be putting in the group. Apart from that, I will give some static book materials for the theoretical parts. Okay, right? It is there. But above all, right, what you have to do? You have to go for your own sources, right? So that gives you the 280 plus, 280 plus. If you are going to go for only the standard market materials, I say most of the people last year who got into surveys, right, the maximum marks 265. There are times 3 years before the COVID, right? 280, 286 was the average mark, and many people used to cross 300. Our academy has produced 329, right? So 317, 307, so many 300 plus. But now, I do not know whether standard of candidates are coming down, or right? So the subject is going up. The subject is same, easy, right? The thing is that the people who take the optionals are failing it. It is not the optionals which fails you. It is you who fail the optional, whatever the optional may be. I say, right? So therefore, here I say that, right? Say the standard has declined. Why? Because, right, you have become complacent. Right? COVID is there still, and you have learned to live with it. New normal. Okay, right? Now you say that come back to your routine life. Be right. So searchful. So the same thing I say to you here. Thing is that yes, there are enough materials. Apart from that, you have to put an extra effort. Right? Irrespective of whoever is going to take the class. Even Jay Shankar comes and takes the class for external affairs. Right? So you have to work upon it. I say that. Right? Then nature of the subject, right? Say, I'll go into it by showing the something, right? So where you'll understand what the subject is, right? Then usefulness. Whether it is useful. I will not say this is the only useful option, right? There are 2 optional subjects which have a major role to play in the GS. One is PSIR, other is public administration. Okay. Where both the subjects nearly has an equal role in GS, right? Now, what is nature of the subject is? I say it helps the candidate in updating their knowledge of current affairs. Right? So you said 40 units already. Then I am saying current affairs also. Okay. Whether you're going to study current affairs for GS or not, anyway you're going to take it. But it will give you a perspective. How, right? It provides a fresh perspective on learning domestic and foreign policy issue. But I say that in the personality test, political student, science student, of course, everyone does well. Political science student has added advantage, right? Because the area, scope of questions to be asked in international relations, domestic politics, right? So constitution, there are so many things where you will definitely have an edge over others. Yes, it gives a fresh perspective. So if you ask what the Ukraine crisis is, it will be Russia and Ukraine. What is the reason? You say there are so many reasons to come with. Whereas a political science student will say that, right? So it is a Cold War legacy, right? Which is right. So the hegemonic struggle between America and Russia. Where it's about the expansion of NATO, right? So where it's about the balance of power. They say it's about the balance of power, spheres of influence. So got it? This is what political science. Okay, right? So where it gives an depth or an in-depth analysis of what is happening around us. Just an example I am saying, right? So now if you are going sociology, then what? Social issues will be there, right? So every option has an advantage over certain area, and political science definitely has it. Say, what is apart from it? It covers wide areas, I say. 40 units is quite a big thing. There is much to study. And that's why I say I will take 6 months to finish. Okay, right? So we will be starting the classes from July 30. So we are leaving a break of 1 week, right? So I have finished the test batch and coming for it, right? So that we start by July 30. It will run up to Jan end, right? And if the Diwali Pongal comes in and we have leave, then it will go up to February 1st or 2nd week. So I am telling it, right? And if needed, I will be going for extra classes also, sometimes in the mornings, if all the people are available. But I never had the habit of skipping the units, right? So I'll go for the all the units. Okay, right? So the thing is, political science is an interconnected area where you cannot have, right? So think, okay, I'm leaving it, I'm leaving, no, right? And most of the things you study are overlapping. We'll see what the overlapping is. Covers 5 areas. Yes, it has the availability of materials and guidance, I believe so. Okay, right? So you believe that's why you are here. Okay, so then I take it as guidance. Easily understood. Yes, of course, it is easily understood, right? Then the same thing. Ella help in a GS essay interview. Yes, it is true. I will say how, right? Friendly subject to all types of graduates, irrespective of art and science. In fact, science students fare well. I say that, right? If you take the success ratio, it is science students who better perform in political science than other students. Doesn't mean that all are performing well. I'm just saying because in science, what you have studied, define, right? Say the scientific bent of mind is that it is always looking for something concrete. You have a pictographic representation, then you say these are the parts this is going to explain. This is what a science is, right? Whereas here we are going to look into the why, what, how of what an aspect is. Okay, that is what political, not only political science, any humanities. It is common for any humanities, and it is a reason why many of the people do not get good marks in paper 2 of GS. You see, always in paper 2 of GS, have you heard anyone crossing about 100? Except for the toppers. Many of them are below 90. The reason is that they don't have the imagination to write it, right? So we call it as out of box thinking. So that the concept is simple, but you can't understand the concept. So you'll be, right? So hovering around only 3 points, nothing more than why? Because you don't rightly get into that. So we need an artistic bent of mind, right? Of course, I'll bend and bend your mind, right? Then the myths and realities about political science. Say, I always used to give it, right? What are the myths and realities? You see, there's a general notion that political science syllabus is exhaustive and extensive, I say. But it is a myth. How? Say, many of the units are overlapping. I will start with the class with syllabus familiarization. While going so, I will say that in section A of paper 1, unit 2 and unit 8 are one and the same. Similarly, in studying unit 3, you have to be aware of unit 4 and unit 5. Without it, you cannot understand unit 3, right? Similarly, the thinkers. I always start the class with thinkers first, Western political thought. Where without understanding the political thought, you can understand the political ideologies. Each and every unit is interconnected. So that's why I say, right? The syllabus is overlap. Then in the section B of paper 1, what do we have? Indian national movement, then constitution, then Indian polity, the actual working of Indian polity. So you're familiar with this? Of course, yes. Right. The only thing is you are going to give a political flavor to this subject. That is it. Nothing more than right. Yes, I say that it is overlapping, and some units are common in both sections as well as papers. In paper 2 as well as right. If you're going to study UN and India, the same will be coming in section B also. Right. If you're going to WTO, EU and India, yes, it's going to be that also. So where I say that many units are overlapping, and if you want to reduce it, I can say to be exact, you are going to study around only 24 to 25 units. I said 40 units. What I reduced to 24 to 25 units. Okay, right? Then the subject is very abstract and cannot be understood. Okay. Then I said the reason why you are here is what? To get into service, not to earn a PhD degree. Okay. First of all, keep it in mind, right? Vandam padicham service, right? Repeat it. Vandam padicham repeat it. No, it is not like that. It should be right. So you came here, right? Study, just right. So get a service and go, right? Say veni visi viti. That's what I say. Where the subject is easily understandable and reasonable. So, for example, right, I put your question, right? Do you agree with the fact that the caste has a role to play in Indian politics? You agree? Give reasons. No, what do you get? Then reservation. Then what bank politics? Then of course you know. Yes, we're coming right. Then the base. One thing is right. The Indian society is a casteist society where right everyone is known by their surname. Not in the south. Not in the south, particularly in Tamil Nadu, there is no surname. We don't call ourselves Mudaliyar, Nadar, etc., etc. We just put our name. Whereas in the north, everyone has a surname. Even in Kerala, they have a surname. Okay, right? So where Indian society is basically casteist, then what will happen? Polity is nothing but the reflection of the society, right? So from here, say this is how the questions will be. This is very very easy to understand. Like I say, the role of governor. The role of governor is controversial. You say yes. Why? So now you are aware of that, what it was supposed to be and what it is, right? So where a governor is interfering in the affairs of the state, which is not constitutionally mandated. Okay, right? Understand that it's not constitutionally mandated. Say the deviation from this. I talk about the Indian polity. Similarly here, right? Say we go for the thing, the Western political thought as well as the ideologies. So this is the only area which you may not be familiar with, but it is very interesting and easier to understand. So where this thinkers will enlighten our thought, and particularly paper 4 is there in GS. What is it? Ethics, right? And I always used to say, right, what to study for ethics, right? Nothing. Don't study anything. If you are basically good, you'll get good marks, right? If you are getting low marks, then you're basically bad. That's what my thing is, right? So where I say that the knowledge of thinkers is going to help you in handling that paper also, right? So where, right, Edmund Husserl is there, Aristotle is there, Plato is there, Gandhi is there, Ambedkar is there. So who else? Everyone is there. Therefore here, right, this will enrich your thought. Yes, it is understandable. Then the thing to say, it needs a good command over the English language. And for information, right, during my first mains, I didn't clear my first mains, only I cleared the second mains, right? I was studying this subject, but still my English is not good because I still say that English is not my mother tongue. My mother tongue is Tamil. When I speak English, I used to write so recollect it in Tamil. Then I translate. My brain does right so it quickly right. I translate and speak. So I can't think in English. I can think only in my mother tongue. And I say English is after all a language and it is not knowledge. Even people who have written in Tamil have also cleared. Tamil எழுதுனவங்களும் பாஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Okay, right? Which means that again I say during the first mains, right, my English is very very average, very very average. I do not understand many of the things, right? So where the word will come, paraphernalia, the modern paraphernalia. What is it? தெரியாதுல்ல இப்படிதான், right? தேவையில்லை, right? So such things, right? You don't need to go for a jargon language, just a lucid and simple language without grammatical error. Let's say you say American English, is it grammatical? We say, I want to come with you. What they will say? An American. I want to go with you. Right? So exactly the opposite. It's not American English, right? So, but still they are the respect. But I am saying that do not worry about the language, right? Say once you automatically prepare, right? So if you're going to take in any medium of your choice, take it. Otherwise, in English can be mastered in 3 months. I say how? By proper reading of newspapers. That's the and textbooks. Textbooks. Say the reason why I say read NCERT first is what? It will help in developing a command over language, right? Once you say there are terms and things, the understanding is very contextual. Context is very contextual. The first interview, I went to Delhi, okay, without anyone. So I single-handedly went to Delhi without knowing Hindi also. I do not know Hindi, right? Say I didn't, right? So drop in the, I went in the not in Tamil Nadu Express, but in Grand Trunk. It stops at Nijamuddin, okay, Old Delhi. Then I had to go to New Delhi, okay. So I simply got down. So here, of course, you see many North Indians are here now, right? So they used to speak Tamil, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. Okay. So I get that, right? என்னோட அறகுறை இங்கே ஹிந்தி I seen, right? The first Hindi film to see, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. Without understanding what Hindi is, right? I enjoyed the movie. Okay, right? I said, right? Tamil Nadu house kahan hai? Right? So auto wala say, kitna? அவன் ஏதாவது சொன்னாரு ஹிந்தியில, I do not know, right? So எடுத்து காட்டினேன் 100 out of 100. No, ஒரு 100 ஒரு 50. Okay, give it. This is it. So I went there. அங்க போனா தமிழ்நாடு house is there. So of course you can speak in Tamil. And I went there. So the guy, the Shah Jahan Road, right? The UPSC, Dolpur house. So I came. Okay, right? Hot of midsummer. So I managed. Then for a medical test, I have been sent to Guru Tej Bahadur Hospital. It is near Uttar Pradesh border. I went there, right? All alone. So where? How I managed? Where if you have been left alone, then you have to survive. I survived somehow. You are here, right? This is a competitive race. What is it? The fittest will survive, right? Till now, right? I like Hindi movies, but I do not know Hindi, right? I can understand a bit, right? So this is what the thing is, right? Say, which means it is easy. It is easy. Whether it is English, whatever thing is, you can easily manage it. Okay, right? Say, what is the qualification of our Prime Minister Modi? Some people say he did MA in Varanasi. Some people say he haven't crossed the school. But still, right? He is running a country. Okay, right? So if it is possible, then what I say? It is easily possible, right? So the right, you take it in the right sense, right? Not criticizing Modi. Take it in the right sense. Okay, right? Then the advantages I say are picking this manifold. How? The scoring pattern. This should be this year, right? But the last 2 years is not good for any of the options, right? People rarely cross 300. So maybe we can take it as COVID impact. Okay, leave it. Gone is gone. Now we learn to live with COVID and come back to normalcy, new normal, right? So where scoring pattern, yes, it is easily achievable. While going for syllabus summarization, I will say how to pick this 300 mark, right? So because there is a strategy in mastering each and every unit. So this is a strategical preparation. I always used to say strategical preparation, not an ordinary preparation. If you get hold of the right strategy, then each and every one clear. The most easiest part in the UPSC preparation is mains examination. Prelims is the most trickiest part, right? Even though it is very easy to study, the trickiest part is prelims. Whereas mains is something very easy. Why? I personally have an experience. I had a friend, Mr. Anbu. Now he is in Karnataka cadre. Okay, right? He haven't cleared all the 6 prelims. Haven't cleared all the 6 prelims. But what he did was, right? Whenever he used to go to mains, right? So he will get our question paper and will practice in his room as if he had cleared the prelims. As if he cleared the prelims, right? The last attempt, luckily he cleared the prelims. He cleared the mains. He cleared the interview and he became an IAS officer. People like me who clear the very first attempt in prelims haven't got to the service. You see, that's what the thing is. So where, what I say, mains is the easiest part, provided you clear the prelims. Okay, right? Yes, the optional average score 55 to 65. I am talking about the persons who got into service. But now the lowest score to got into service was 242. Last year, the lowest score in political science to get into service was 242. Why? The cutoff has come down. It's not because the subjects are not faring well. The cutoff has come. 742 is the cutoff. 739 is the cutoff for the OC category, and something 7 marks lesser for the OBC category, and only 700 for the SC STs. So out of 1,750, you see not even 45%. Okay, right? Then the recent trend. Yes, of course, I said. So that's a comparison I shown. Yes. So this is the thing. Public administration, geography, right? Political science and sociology. Okay, right? Because these are the 4 popular options, right? I have nothing personal against any of the options. I am saying because I even studied geography. Okay, right? So there is no option I have left. Public administration cannot be studied. Why? It is a part of political science. That is why I haven't taken it, right? Now, the scope. Say in each and every paper. So this should give you a confidence. Okay, right? Because by studying political science, you have the feeling that okay, I covered something in GS also. Say all the 4 papers. Can I complete a syllabus? I'm thinking about a GS. Yes, you can always complete a syllabus in the static part, but not in the dynamic part. Even if you ask already a topper, have you completed a syllabus? He or she will say no. No one in this field can complete the syllabus. The only area where you can complete the syllabus is optional, right? And that too in the static area. Dynamic areas always are prone to change, right? That's why I say that do not stay here long. Just right. So once you come here, hit the bullseye, go. That's right. And for it again, I say it is possible. All the thing what you need is that you should have the right strategy. Now we come here. It is nearly 80 marks out of 250. So how would you say so? What is modern Indian history? So this is the Indian national movement part, which is a part of the syllabus in section B of paper 1. The first unit, Indian nationalism. It will be given, right? So here, of course, the same INM is here. What is the difference in political science? How are you going to understand? For example, a question last year, right? The 1857 revolt. What comes to your mind? Huh? Sipai mutiny. Okay. But Sarvarkar calls us first war of Indian independence. You simply, right? So just asking about the Sarvarkar, right? You say what? Sipai mutiny. Whether Sipai mutiny or first war of Indian independence. Again, there are 2 opinions, right? Where the Britishers say it is simply a riot, a mutiny by a discontented Sipais. Okay. Whereas our nationalists say, right, it is a Indian independence movement. Do we have or did we have the idea of India then? 857. Then how come it is possible? But it is possible because India was a nation in making. Who said so? Surendranath Banerjee. You study modern India will come to know where we are going into the ideological dimensions of national movement. History is same. History is same. Where I said we are going to add political flavor. The ideological dimensions of nationalism. What do you call it? Moderates. It's an ideology. Extremism. Ideology. Revolution nationalism. Ideology. Right? So where Gandhiism, it is an ideology. So this is what. So where the 80 marks, I say, modern Indian history is one thing. Freedom struggle. Then the post-independence consolidation. Good. India after independence. Okay. Not only this. World history. How? Political philosophies. So where you have communism, capitalism, socialism, globalization, and then the regional issues and social issues. So we have all these communism, regionalism, and secularism. Okay, right? Where you don't need any specific preparation in these areas if you're opting for political science. With the knowledge of political science, you can easily manage this. That's right. Then, paper 2, 220 marks out of 250, I say. Which means what? Polity, it's there. The major aspects of governance, it's there, except for the social justice and inclusive growth. Except for that, the 30 marks I leave it. Then international relations is what? Part of political science. Where For paper 2, you need not put an extra effort, right? If you prepare for paper 2, then it's enough for political science. If you prepare for political science, enough for paper. Either way, it is good, okay, right? So, except for the governance issue, I say, okay, that. And that is the scope of public administration. Governance issue scope of public administration, right? Now, paper 3, again 80 marks, I say. What is it? Political economy, planning and development. This is an unit in section B of paper 1. Say, whether India is a capitalist country or a socialist country. It's a mixed economy. What is the trend? But what the preamble says, which is true, the political economy, planning and development, reforms, right? So we have to go for liberalization, all these things. So where you have to know about the economic development of India after India, because every economic decision in India is a political decision. Okay, politics and economy are intertwined in India. Previously, before 1989, we were a closed economy. Now we are a open economy, right? So yes, to understand this context. Then the internal and external security related issues in internal security about the Kashmir, the problem of Northeast, right, and other things. So that I say it is 80 marks here. Then paper 4. 70. How leaders, reformers, and administrators. Moral and political attitudes, right? Contributions of moral thinkers, philosophers from India and the world. Okay. Ethical issues in international relations and funding. So these are overlapping in this GS, right? Now you see 80, 220, 300, 80 plus 70, 450 marks, right? Where I say you need not prepare for this 450 marks separately. So while or when studying political science, you can automatically cover it. Okay, right? Then you see 450. Then of course essay. There are two essay paper now, 125 marks each. Essays may be philosophical, political, economical, technical, right? Something where you have the guarantee of at least out of the 8 topics given, one you can manage with political science or times 2. If it's general topic like globalization, you can manage 2, right? Even in essay, you can manage, okay, right? But the difference is that you should be able to differentiate your writing in political science and GS. That's what makes it really simple, right? In political science, optional, you have to approach the paper like a political science student. For GS, you have to approach like a generalist. So again, there is a tricky issue. You should not bring in Plato, Aristotle, everyone in a GS paper. In GS paper, write what is being asked for. In political science, write what is being asked. You should be able to different. That is a danger of many of them, particularly students of public administration, right? Actually, the public administration students are supposed to get very good marks in paper 2, GS, but not. The thing is, they will go for the administrative thinking and approach the paper in different way. So that leads to the right. So don't do it, right? So you should be able to differentiate between the two things. Here you stand aloof. There you stand deep, right? There. You see? Therefore, including 500 marks, I am saying, right? You add the 500 marks for optional. 1200 marks in preparing for 500 marks. Take 200 marks. In preparing for 500 marks, you are preparing for at least 1000 marks. Okay, right? Therefore, this is a very good advantage over other option. At the same time, if you are going to get an advantage, you have to put an extra effort. That is what, right? That's what the extra effort, right? Now, I say, you see, leave it. Okay, right? In interview also is going to help you. About the content. Then we come to the content of this thing. What the content is. Right. Say the hero of political science is state. Sociology in a society. History is the past. Geography is about the earth, right? Exterior as well as interior. Geology is pure interior. Similarly, every subject has a scope, and the scope of political science is state. Okay, right? Where tomorrow, what are you going to be? State servants, or put it simply, government servant. Again, I put it, public servants. You are the servants of public. not the masters of public, right? But still, the bureaucrats live in the colonial mentality. That's why still you are here. What is it? The awe it creates, the respect it creates, the honor, right? Recognition it creates in the society. Okay, right? So therefore, of course, the COVID has again brought back the importance of civil servants. Why? They were in the forefront along with the health workers fighting the COVID pandemic. So the importance of bureaucracy. That's why we call it as a steel frame of India. Okay, right? Now I say this is the scope of the subject. Where state, if I put you a question, right? If your state asks you to die tomorrow, will you die? You are happening anti-Indian. Huh? You say you're not going to die. Well, you're anti-Indian. No, then uh, okay, the state has given you a fundamental right. Now it asks you to die for the state. They cannot take away fundamental rights. Okay, people in the state. But some people are saying Bharat Mata ki Jai, right? Jai Shri Ram, I will die for the state. What is it? It is so important for them, but not for you. The state has given you so many things. This is it. Okay, right? For everyone, each and everyone, right? The state will give you a different context. So for me, it is different. For others, it is different. Okay, right? Then whether we really have the idea of what India is, again, there is a debatable question. So such things can be understood by the state. How the state would have come into existence? Origin, the nature, function. India was not exactly the same, which was 70 years before. Again, was not 250 years before. Was not 2500 years before. Can we say that Indus Valley civilization is the ancestral civilization of entire India? It is for the northwestern region. And there is a separate Gangetic civilization, right? And now here in the south, we have this Vaigai and the right southern civilization, the Kiradi civilization, right? They thrive at different parts of time and they have their own unique cultural thing. But still, we say that Kashmir to Kanyakumari, a cultural thread which runs throughout. Yes or no? Whether it's a myth or whether it's a reality, we invented to make India a nation. So such. So where I'm applying for India, but I state. When did America came into existence? July 4, 1776. Declares independence. Before that, what? It was a land of Red Indians. So it's not Americans. The original Americans were Red Indians. Now who are these people? All are right. So the migrants. So therefore, America doesn't have original population. That is why they are so particular about their country. Whereas here we are original population. Okay, right? The south we say Kal Tontri, Man Tontri, Kalathu, Valodiya, Mun Tontri, Mutta Kodi. We are a part of Lemuria continent. Right? Therefore, Tamil precedes, right? So Sanskrit. Dravidian, right, is a separate concept. Aryan is a separate concept. Is it so? Maybe or may not be. We do not know. Therefore, here, right, the context of state in India is something different. That is the difference why America is different, Europe is different, and India is different. So, understanding all these things, you have to get hold of the concept of state. Okay, then I ask Afghanistan. There is a state. What do you say? Say here, don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. There are no good states or bad states. There are states. There is political science only worries about the state. Does religion has anything to do with the state? Then why India is secular? Why can't we call it as Hindustan? 80% people are Hindus. Why can't we call it Hindustan? When I say the word Hindu is geographical. Again I say for a person who is civil service aspirant, the word Hindu is geographical. It is not religion. The original name was Vedic religion or Sanatana Dharma. Right? Why it is not named? Because at that time there are no other religions. Okay, right? Only with the coming of Christianity and Islam, we need to identify this is this and that. That's why it's been named. And named by whom? An English person. Not by us, not by the Indians, by the English people. Right? So I used to jokingly say, right? All the civil service aspirants, whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, or a Christian or a Sikh, whatever it is, you have to read Hindu newspaper. Okay, right? So that is what the unity of India is. Okay, right? So where it is a geographical term, right? So such state. Then what is government? Government, whether it is your government or BJP government, whatever it is, right? So that is a majority party. Then it is a people's government, our government. Okay, right? Then what the government is going to do? Executive will come with certain laws, right? So the implement the laws. Legislature will make laws. Judiciary is going to adjudicate, right? And some laws like farm bills doesn't get the support of the people. Then we go for right protest. What will happen? They should withdraw. Why? India is a democracy, right? Can it be possible in China, Hong Kong? What is happening? Shootout. Okay, right? There was a thing which happened in Tiananmen. When students came to protest in China, 10,000 students, right? They took a military tank, crushed all of them, just cleaned the surface. That's what, right? China is. Can I do the same in North Korea? Kim Jong Un is there, right? So he will kill you all. So therefore, yes, the state is something different, the government is something. So you're going to see all these things. Okay, the concepts. This is what. These are everyday concepts which you use, but they have deeper connotations than you think. Justice. What is justice? Because our Indian constitution promises, preamble says, right? We the people of India, we're going to give justice, social, economic, and political. What justice is then? Whether it is Nyayam or Needi. Apa Nyayam na? That is it. There are many dimensions there. Say, let me say, justice is giving every man his due. Justice is giving every man his due. That is what? According to the worth of the individual. Some people are more capable than others. Then what will happen? The capable and efficient people will corner all the benefits, right? So that all the people will be left out. Is this justice? Our Indian promises social justice. Then what? It is not according to the worth, but according to the need. Then if you are going to give according to the need, right? I need more, right? But I work less, right? I will not pay taxes, but I always demanding from the government, right? Will it be like robbing Peter to pay Paul? This is justice. Just I said justice, but the debate goes on. Okay, so is the thing. Equality, right? Article 14 of the Indian Constitution says equal. Yeah, of course, in Western countries, right? Equality was one of the right. Okay, all the men are born free and equal in rights. Declares the American Independence Declaration. All men are born free and equal in rights. All are equal. All are equal. Are we all equal? Legally equal. Legally equal. But socially, economically, culturally, is there anything? No, right? There is a difference. So, therefore, here, all these are interconnected in the sense that rights. Everyone has rights. Say, in America, there's a recent shootout which killed many people. Still, the government is not taking away the right to carry guns. And say, right to carry arms is a fundamental right. Right to carry arms is a fundamental right. Why? Because it is an inclusive right. It's the right to life, where I have the right to defend my life. For India, the freedom to assemble peacefully without arms. Article 19 says, yes, you have a freedom to assemble, right? Peacefully without arms. Violence cannot be committed except as an act of self-defense. At the same time, what? You shouldn't have the right to carry the guns. You want to carry a gun, then you have to apply for a license, right? As a district collector, you have to scrutinize whether there is a danger for this man or this woman, and you have, and every year you have to produce, again, renew the license. Restricted freedoms. Rights are there, but they are not equal everywhere. In Europe, it is different rights, right? In the socialist countries, it is different rights. In third world countries, there is different rights. Okay, right? So, yes, then democracy. They say democracy. India is a democracy. Yes, the largest democracy in the world. So, India is a perfect democracy. What do you say? Is there any political ills prevailing in India when you come with a lot of complaint? Corruption, cash for vote, casteism. So, we used to complain, right? Okay. Is democracy an apt model of government for India? Why? Because you are born in the modern democratic tradition. If you are born 300 years before, what do you talk about democracy? What do you say? Your question will be defined by your caste, not by your thing. Social status was what then? Caste. So therefore, it was imposed upon India. It is a foreign model copied by Indians, and now we say that, right? We are not called democratic. No, right? So we are different people, and it's been imposed on us, right? English has become the, can you say English is a national language? No. But still we follow English for official language. Why? Because we used to say for 200 years, right, the British ruled us. For 400 years, the Mughals ruled us. But you don't have Urdu as the official language. Why don't you take Urdu? Why are you taking Hindi for this English? Then, right? So there are a lot of things to be discussed, right? In Tamil, in the Tamil heartland, neither Hindi, right, nor Urdu came here, right? Only during the Alauddin Khilji period, so he came up to Pandya kingdom, and then he left back. Okay, right? So even the great Mughals haven't come here, right? So why? Because say there were the great Cholas here. So till the 12th century AD, then the later Pandyas. Till 14th century, nobody can invade South India. Therefore, we have a secluded culture different from the North Indian culture, right? We don't celebrate Prithviraj Chauhan, right? We celebrate Chera Chola and Pandyas. They are our heroes, okay, right? So, which means that, right? So, history is different, everything is different. So, the democracy is an idea where in the West it is different and in the East it is different. Say, the Britishers or all the European powers, as they went off, given freedom to the third world countries, they set up a democratic regime where we are not aware of what say they have been ruling us for 200 years as colony. Suddenly they get independence and gone up and say you are a democratic country, right? How is it possible? Democracy has to evolve. Where it evolved? In Britain it evolved. In America it evolved. Therefore, it will take time in India to evolve, and that too with diverse culture. I say English Karnataka is easy. To be an American is easy. Yeah. Why? In England, people speak English only. Okay, even if you come from India, you have to speak English only. Okay, what is the religion there? Even though it's a state religion, what is the majority religion there? Christianity, right? Protestants and the Puritans. That is it, right? So that's it, right? So the Catholic was a Protestant, but the same religion, same language. Then it is easy to be an Englishman. Whereas in India, what is it? 22 scheduled languages, 8 major religions, right? Different geographical region. Still, we call ourselves as Indian. What is the binding document? What binds us? The Constitution. That's what the greatness of India. So you have to take the Constitution in the right sense. We say the conscience of Constitution, the morality of Constitution. So these are the things, right? Then politics is definitely with about what? Power. Right? What is happening now in Tamil Nadu politics? Struggle for power. National level. Struggle for power. Say in economics, what is the currency? What is the thing? Money is the currency. Economy is about what? Money. Okay. Similarly, politics about what? Power. Why power? Who has the power? For what purpose you are going to use it? These are the things which are the right. So the concepts, then the ideologies. Ism. Any ism is an ideology which have a codified doctrine and sufficient following. Okay, right? Liberalism, socialism, communism. So I say, right? So இப்பயே தூக்கம் வருது அப்படின்னா இன்னும் பயங்கரமா தூக்கம் இனிமேல் இன்னும் பயங்கரமா இருக்கும், right? So just say it, right? Now, liberalism, socialism, communism, feminism, and isms. What are they? Say nothing but liberal. What is the idea of liberal? Liberty na சொல்லுவோம். Freedom. Okay. Then society, socialism. What is it? Quite opposite to liberalism. Equality. Communism is nothing but a version of socialism, right? Then feminism. What is it? So we have approached the state or politics from different angles. What do women think about politics? Is politics given a space for women? Yes? No? Different opinions, right? Say, as long as you are sitting here not willing to take any space, there will be no space, right? You have to ask. That's what feminism is. Then Gandhi. So the greatest force in the Indian history. So one man who turned, right? Not Ashoka the Great, Akbar the Great. It is Gandhi. Mahatma. We never call Ashoka or Akbar Mahatma. We call only him as great because they have done great things. But Gandhi has done impossible things. That's what Gandhi is, right? And that too what? There are emperors, powerful, right? Akbar was such a powerful man. Here, at one point of time, he had 200 wives, right? Such a powerful man, you see, right? Whereas here, Gandhi is what? A single man, right? A half-naked fakir, only having a stick in his hand, not for violence, but to walk, right? So, has entirely turned India upside down. Then the Britishers were gone. That's what Gandhi is, right? Ideology. What is the ideology? So that is right. So now these are the other things. I am talking about section A. Okay. Then the thinkers, where we have Plato, Aristotle, Karl Marx. So many things. Nothing but why we have thinkers. the concepts I say, the ideology say, right? Where these were the thought process of the thinkers. Okay, right? I said justice. Justice was being given by both Plato as well as Aristotle. And now the modern notion of justice is something different. Okay. Similarly, Karl Marx. Again, there are two popular figures in the modern world. One is Karl Marx, right? Other is Gandhi. Okay. But the most popular figures is Gandhi and Che Guevara. So many youths have seen wearing T-shirt of Che Guevara without knowing who he is, right? A Bolivian rebel. Okay, right? So now, who is Che Guevara? A man who has been carried out by Marxism. Marx, right, was like a god to half of the world, and he is a devil to half of the world. Then what was his idea? So that's what Karl Marx. Then we have the Indian thinkers, Arthashastra, the old tradition, right? So Gandhi, Ambedkar, etc. Right? India is not only the land of Hindus. India is for all. Okay, right? Say why we fought against the British but not against the Mughals and others. Yes, the battle between the kings is a different story, but not the common man revolted against the Islamic rule. It's not Islamic rule. It's a Mughal rule or Lodis. Why? No, conversion is not compulsory except for the people who seek favor among the kings. Nobody converted. The common man was there. They did good for the mother country, but in alien. Britishers are alien. Okay, but the people who came from Persia are not aliens. What do you say? They did good for the mother country, Britishers, but Mughals did good for the same. Even Ghazni carried the throne, right? So, to Ghazni, Muhammad of Ghazni has plundered India. What do you say? Yes, yes.
Our culture was so amazing and superior, so they either adapted to it, but British ideology tried to imprint on us. So that's why we rebelled against.
Okay, right. Let me put it in a simple way. Nothing but the Islamic rulers or invaders who came to India made India their homeland. So, India their homeland. They were Indianized. They became the part and parcel of India. Biryani became our standard food, right? So that is it. Okay, right? Whereas the Britishers as what? They are perpetual alieners. They want to plunder India, take away and go away. They never had intention to settle in India. That's what make the differences. Okay, right? Such things. So where we are going to see many things, right? So it is an interesting subject where you have a lot of things to discuss, study and things, and keep your mind open. The thing is, don't be biased, right? Don't listen to social media. Don't listen to social media because we never lived during that time and history definitely was not objective. There was always the history writer, then an opposite version of history, then the true version of history, right? So therefore we should approach this in a objective way. So that, and particularly it is a quality of a civil servant. So kindly note that never ever in your life you shouldn't be biased religiously, caste based or language based. Okay, right? So here objective analysis for which you have to know all these things. Okay, then section B, modern India. What is it? Nationalism. As I said, it's an ideology. Okay, so first of all, you think why nationalism came to India? Because there is colonialism, right? For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. So nationalism was born out of a reaction against colonialism, right? Indian national movement. Then how it is carried out, right? It's a strategy actually, right? So if you look at the syllabus, it being strategy. Of course, I'll explain the syllabus summarization. Militant revolution movement, satyagraha, say all the things which you are familiar with, right? Actually, this is the most powerful political strategy and political weapon, right? Even the guns cannot stand before that. Okay, that's what the power of satyagraha. And you'll come to know why. Okay, then Indian Constitution. For all things you study in GS, right? And I say I put you as a request, right? For this, do not follow Lakshmi Kant, right? Do not follow Lakshmi Kant, right? So kindly go for D.D. Basu. If you don't understand the book, right, read it, just come to me. I'll make it simple for you, right, and explain it. Okay, right? So, but again, you cannot go for unit by unit, right? So teaching of polity because it's not polity class. It is going to be political science class. But still, I say that, right? Go for D.D. Basu. So conceptually, it is good. Lakshmikant is a super good book, but it is a guide. It is a market guide which has 950 pages, where you do not know which is an important point and other things. If I ask you, right, what is the significance of Article 32? What will you say? Fundamental rights. What is significance of 32? Yeah, these are provisions, constitutional remedies. Then significance. I'm asking the significance. This is what textbook and market guys. Lakshmikant carries about 10 to 15 points about 32, right? But you cannot catch a single word, right? If I ask you significance, the basic itself is gone, right? The significance lies in the fact that it is a guarantee, which guarantees the fundamental rights. It is the basis of the liberal constitution. It is the conscience of the constitution. It is the heart and soul of the constitution, right? So this is what the significance, right? Where the entire fundamental rights revolves around 32. It is a cornerstone of all the fundamental rights, right? So nowhere you can see this point. This is what the beauty of DD Basu is, right? Again, NCERT is good in the Indian constitution at work. Then you go for DD Basu. For the GS purpose, particularly the parliament and other things, Panchayat Raj, for prelims alone, I am saying, right? You can go for the Lakshmika, right? So many people I say all these things are given in Lakshmika, but you can't create a single thing out of it because it's a guide, okay, right? It's a good guide, but still it will not be useful in political science, okay, right? Then Indian politics, of course, the most interesting thing we'll study: caste, religion, ethnicity, political parties, and pressure group. Say, like what is happening in India. Say, there is a topic about the polarization of Indian society. Is it happening? Yes, it's a definitely dangerous trend. That is why, say, we are not against any party or religion, but still, right? Polarization is a dangerous trend in a country like India, which is diverse, right? If you polarize people, what will happen? It will communalize the politics. Then what will happen? Hate politics, right? If hate politics is there or majoritarian politics is there, then there will be no scope for minorities. Whereas the Indian constitution has specifically granted, right? So cultural education rights to minorities. Why? Not for the majority, but for the minorities. Why? Because when a fraction of the Muslim population has chosen Pakistan as their homeland, right? Majority of the Muslim population has chosen India as their homeland. Yes, right? To reward their loyalty towards India. Okay, right? They are Indians. Right? And for example, who is the father of Pakistan? Muhammad Ali Jinnah, right? Who had a daughter who stayed in India, and the Nadia group, the famous Wadia group, who are they? They are descendants of Jinnah's daughter. Okay, Jinnah is the daughter of India. Jinnah's daughter is the daughter of India. Muhammad Ali Jinnah may be the father of Pakistan. His own daughter preferred to stay in India. Now you see, right? So why the constitution is so specific about the minority? That's what say where you should be, right? Yeah, like a big brother taking care of our younger siblings. Okay, not big brother beating the younger siblings. So this is so that you understand a lot of dimensions here: caste, religion, ethnicity. What is ethnicity? Like our Seaman says, right? Ya Sami Muruganda, Ningala Pogada, right? Say where ethnic. I am saying I'm a Tamil, right? So I am here for you, right? Say ethnicity. Is there anything called pure race, pure language, pure religion? Can you say so? You can trace your history for 4 generations. Beyond that, do you know what your history is? No. Right? So where, right? This is what. Say India is a beautiful bride. It's like, right? So where so many things come together and make our motherland so beautiful. So it glories, right? So it shines, it glorifies, right? So where I say that it is we who add, right? So power to her. So I say sometimes we can see it as a homeland, right? Fatherland, motherland, whatever it is, but still it is India. Say, I say that, you know, Afghanistan, what is happening in Afghanistan? You get out of the house, right? There is no guarantee that you return alive. Okay, so there is no guarantee. Something, a bomb may explode, somebody will shoot you dead, right? So here in India, what is it? But not to that extent. Why? The country has given us much, right? We can criticize Modi, yes or no? You can put a cartoon, okay, right? So why? The freedom of speech and expression allows that, where it is not possible in any other country. That is what the beauty of India is, right? So These things we have to understand in an unbiased way, but still the reality, right? So we say that a question now thing, right? Among this following castes, which is the lower caste? Yesterday we were seeing the TV, right? Mahars, Nadars, Mudaliyas, Harijans. Okay. There was a government order in Tamil Nadu which bans the word Harijans. You cannot use the word Harijans. You should use the word what? Dalits. Right? Dalit means what? Not SCST. Dalit means oppressed. The actual meaning of Dalit is oppressed, which includes SCST, OBC as well as women. இதுதான் தலித்தோட ஒரிஜினல் மீனிங். பட் வித்வுட் நோயிங் தட் வாட் யூ டு, ரைட்? இந்த பக்கம் ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராம், ஜெய் பீம், ரைட்? ஸோ we either ஜெய் பீம் or ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராம். At last what you want is ஜெய் ஹிந்த், right? Long live our Bharat. That is what we are. Okay, right? So here such things we are going to see. Okay, then coalition politics, right? So what our Papu is doing, right? What Papu's mother is doing, right? And what, right? So our Modi ji is doing, right? So I say Modi ji, right? So not Vegasa, sympathize, but I am saying, right? So yeah, election, social movements, many things are there. Okay, right? Now, right? All these things, including the center and to some extent state, where the major thing which you are aware of, the politics of Uttar Pradesh. Why? Because it decides who is going to rule in center, the large number of seats, right? Then the pattern in North Indian states and the South Indian states. Then what is the pattern in the Northeastern state? So a general understanding of the politics happening in India. It is here the newspaper is going to help you. Okay, right? On the state election, there are states by election. Tomorrow read what is it? It's not that. What is the trend? What is the electoral behavior? Right? So that's what the message you should get. Okay, right? So this is about the section B. Then international relations, paper 2, the most easiest thing. So where you can finish the entire syllabus in 1.5 months. So on the easy, and particularly section B is more and more, right? So easy. It includes basic concepts like this national interest, foreign policy, diplomacy, which you'll find definitely interesting. Okay, right? Which many terms you come across in the newspaper. Then international issues, globalization, power politics, right? Gender justice. So many things which is happening. Okay, so you have international organizations like UN, etc., right? WTO, regional organizations. Say where you need not prepare separately for GS, anything else in this international relations. Everything will be taken care of here. Okay, right? Then the section B, India and the world. So between major powers, the developing powers, the recent developments. They say recent development. So now, when you look at the thing, section A of paper 1 is completely static. Completely static. You have to approach in such a way that, right, where the standard books and other things enough. For section B, particularly the Indian politics section, and for something in the constitution, right, that is dynamism, where you have to follow the local news, the national level news. And for this paper 2, except for the first 6 units, the entire paper is dynamic. The entire paper is dynamic. And the scope and the mark, right, in which you will be getting this paper is more. If you are well versed in the dynamics, that is the sense current affairs. Current affairs on a, you should not, right, so going for the today's current affairs, last year's. It is not like that, right? Current affairs is a continuous process where you should be aware of the trend, not the what happened today or tomorrow or 3 months before. It is about the trend, right? A trend of nearly 2 to 3 years. That's what the recent development is. When I say whether India is more realistic now in its foreign policy, pragmatic, yes or no? Yes, we can watch it, right? So the international happening, we say yes, Indian foreign policy is definitely going towards the pragmatic direction. Okay, right? So such things we are going to see, right? So this is what the syllabus is. This is what the syllabus. This is what you're going to study in 6 months, right? Along with what? The current affairs. We will be discussing the issues also, right? I say, right, come prepared. The sense, not about the subject, but about the current events. That's how we can easily relate with the events. Marks, again I say, the marks will be given for your originality, not for the notes or the content, the originality. And that should be relevant. That should be relevant, right? So how to approach this? First, preparation. Nothing can, right? So substitute the preparation. How to prepare, right? First of all, know the syllabus thoroughly. Then only you can understand where the question comes from. Say, not only in political science, it is common for GS also, right? Where, yes, understand the syllabus is the first key to the success. Then, class, right? Of course, you are coming in offline, online, right? All the mode, right? Make your presence in any of one of the mode, but it should be there. Say, once you take a break, it is very hard to get back in, right? And by the time you missed so many things, right? Say, when you are postponing things, it means you are postponing your victory. Always have it in mind, right? So, a personally, even I come across all these things, right? Studying. Yes, I come across this thing, right? But still, you just ask yourself why you are here. Sunday, fine day, is a leave, you can enjoy, go with your friends, right? But still you are here, right? So controlling all your things. Why? Because you have some priority. You already decided your priority. Therefore, right? 1 year, கஷ்டப்பட்டு படிச்சீங்க then I will say that your life will be like such a good life, right? Even a group A service will give you such a job satisfaction guarantee that, right? Lifelong, you should not worry, right? I have seen so many friends, right? So yes, they are living a very good life. Okay, how? Because they toiled at that time. Okay, right? When I was watching movies, right, and roaming around, they studied. Okay, right? That made a difference. Now what? They are free roaming around, I am studying. Okay, right? So it is the punishment which I got for not preparing at that well. 25th year of studying, right? I can proudly say that 25 years of studying political science. So of course it becomes a part of my life. I breathe it. Okay, right? And I love it. Okay. Now, current affairs. Regular newspaper reading. Yes, that should be done. And again, it is not for 4 hours, 5 hours. 45 minutes to 1 hour. The issue which is important or relevant in our, that's why I say know the syllabus thoroughly. Okay. Use standard source materials. Yes, our class notes. Apart from that, you need to buy some 4 or 5 books, and it's not about cover to cover studying. Only the right so thing which are given in the syllabus, because a textbook will always give you better clarity than market guides and class notes. Class notes on the those who attend the class, it will be sensible. For those who never attended the class, if someone reads my class note, so there won't be any coherent things, right? So they'll be finding some missing gaps, which can be understood only by the person who attended the class. This is true for all the daily notes also, right? Therefore, I right sincerely advise you that, right, there are no better source than standard materials, books. You keep it as supplementary. Our notes will supplement your preparation. That is right. That say how to study. Come with the class. That's why you are in the July batch. If you go the September, I will be going for another September batch in, right? So end of September, the evening batch, right? Say prelims pressure will be there. Everything. Now this is the time where you are start preparing. This is the right time to study. Come along with the class. That is right. So we have a class. The class will go for 3 to 3.5 hours. So we'll start by 9, right? Sometimes by 12:30, sometimes by 1, right? So we'll having a small break in between, 15 minutes break or 20 minutes break in between. Where I said it is supposed to be till Jan end or February 1st or second week, right? So for the sake of finishing, I won't finish the syllabus, right? I will finish the syllabus, but thoroughly. Okay, so where you have enough time given. 6 months is more than enough time to complete the off note, provided that you prepare regularly. And I said, don't memorize. There's no need. Just understand, right? Then important topics in newspaper. Connect with it. Try to connect with it, right? So if something happens today, can it be right linked with that particular topic, right? So that's what the thing. Say when you're going for answer writing, the examiner should know that yes, this boy or girl also has a grip over the current affairs. Yes, he has given a beautiful illustration with the current that shows the current understanding. Okay, right? Therefore, yes, it should be there. Revise and write test regularly. So of course, we will go for 6 tests, right? We go for. Say the thing is, right? Even from the last batch, right? The second batch never takes the test because they don't find time. But the first batch takes the test, where section-wise test will be there. Okay. Apart from it, you have the regular habit of writing 1 or 2 questions from the previous question paper on your own. Okay. Say, I will tell you one thing. What about the coaching academies, right? They are like catalysts, even myself, right? And the role they play in your success is only 30%, right? அதுக்கு தான் என்ன பண்ணும் 100% claim பண்ணிப்போம் உங்களுக்கு ரிசல்ட், right? But still, to be genuine, our role, wherever you go, whatever the academy is, 30%. 70% of the responsibility lies with you. You see, not all the people who, right? So I taught clear. Only few people clear. That means what? That few people have gone an extra mile, right? So always keep in mind that ready to travel the extra mile, whatever the option may be, even including GS. Okay, right? Now refer useful websites. So that's why I limited it. Okay, so don't go off so many things, right? Ministry of External Affairs, that is the authenticated source, right? Ministry of External Affairs is the, see, always go for official website. You prefer this. Then there's South Asian Journal, PIB, it is an authenticated. IDSA, Defense, and there's another thing now, ORF. Refer, right? Do not always sit in front of them. Refer. I will also refer. So while taking classes, I will be giving that also, right? But for your reference, I say these are references. These are references. That's it. And nothing more than that. Okay, right? Then understanding. How much level understanding do you need for website? The Oriental Research Foundation. So there is a website that, so that, oh, sorry, Oxford Research Foundation, there's a website that, so where you can find useful articles and other things. Okay. So where, say, what is the level of understanding one should have? In the syllabus, it has been given, it will be more than the bachelor's degree and something less than the master's degree. It will be equivalent to the honors level, which means, right? So something between the PG level and UG level. You are more than a UG student, something less than a PG student, but the syllabus is PG syllabus. What the basic level understanding that will do, not a in-depth, a basic level understanding with the knowledge to apply what you have studied, right? Say suppose Article 239, right? So A, B, it's about the, right? So lieutenant governors, okay, right? You're going to study that, then you should be able to apply in the current context. Whether the lieutenant governors are doing their constitutional duty or overstepping their duty. What do you say? They overstep or within the constitutional limits? How? You have an understanding, you know the thing, and now you are applying it and saying that it is not. That is it, right? Analysis of events that portray your understanding. This is how you're going to write. Okay, right? Understanding the dynamics of each and everything. Say, politics, particularly politics, unit is so much dynamic. Caste, religion, ever happening phenomena. Okay, right? Whereas thinkers, ideologies are a static thing. So, proper understanding. India and the world, that is changing. Yes, of course, day by day, right? So we are studying the horizon. So therefore, dynamic. Understanding the dynamics helps you. And then writing. How you should write? I say simple and lucid, right? Not much complicated sentences, right? A sentence of 2 lines or 1.5 lines. That will do, right? Then coherent and logical. Say these things I see from my own experience and from my students writing who got into service, right? Their writing were coherent and logical. Okay, and illustrative writing. So this is what the difference is. In academics, you don't have illustrative writing, whereas in competitive examination, you should have illustrative with the examples. Regular practice tests, right? So as soon as each topic is completed. Like I say, for just for the sake of writing test, don't take the test because each and every topic is interconnected. Without completing a sizable portion, you cannot take test. You complete 3 or 4 units, then you start writing. Okay, right? Correct the keywords, understand what the keywords, and to understand the keywords, you should understand the questions. Okay, content is same. Content is Plato's concept of justice. That's a concept, but it can be asked in any way. The content is same. You are going to present in different way. How? Well, here, you see, there is a strategy for writing. What is the strategy? Understanding and relevance. First of all, you are writing, right? Whether you understand the question and the answer is relevant to the particular question. Content. Content comes only second. And structure and presentation. We call it UCP methodology, right? So it is how the UPSC values your paper, right? First, உங்களுக்கு understanding இருக்குதா, then whether the content is right content, then your answer structure. That is according to the question asked. Write what is being asked for. So, for example, if I ask you discuss, what do you write? Analyze, critically analyze, examine, right? Assess. The words are different. Content is same. Then what do you do? You are going to write accordingly. Right? So there, right? So it is here. I am going to give you that. So I will discuss. Once I am going for a topic, I will take a previous question and discuss. Right? So this is how you are going to approach. This is how the questions are being asked. This is why this is how the program will be. Okay, right? Where it should be interactive, right? Sometimes we get more notes, right? So it is not possible to take all in the class. I will send it in the group. Don't worry about the notes, right? But the discussion should be fruitful. So where before 2017, there are many toppers. Why? Na? They discussed with me. So once after the class is over or during the class, right? Even some people used to argue with me, right? Of course, in a friendly way. Sir, what you say is not acceptable, sir, right? So no, you are always blaming the Sangeet, sir, right? So you are coming in the Dravidian mentality. No, it's not like, sir, neither I am a Dravidian, right? So nor I am a Sangeet. Okay, right? I hate this both people, right? So where it should be neutralized. You should be very, very objective. Where discussion brings out a lot of new ideas. This is what the UPSC wants. Discuss, okay, right? Then this regular writing, all these things, right? The nature of questions, how it will be. Say 40% of questions will be direct. In 3 hours of time, you won't write it. Okay. 40% will be analytical. And 20% will be current and critical. Say this is a design of examination. If you go, say if somebody says the exam question paper is so tough, don't believe it. UPSC is a very, very rational body, right? And the exam is designed to bring the best out of the candidates. If all the questions are critical, then you'll need 6 hours to write the exam. Okay, and they know within the allotted time of 3 hours, right? So how a student's mind will work for which it will be like this. Yes, for 40%, write simple and straight. For 40%, yes, little more analysis. And 20% are critical. Okay, if you have time, if it becomes a choice, you can leave it. Okay, because 5 out of 8 questions. But in common questions, certain questions are critical. That's why I say 20% you have anywhere you have to attempt that, right? And write what is being asked for. Do not tend to overwrite or do not tend to underwrite. Just write what is being asked for. Some people ask word limits. If it is 150 words, right? Say you can't find time. The maximum you can go is 180 words, right? So, or the lowest thing you go for 130 words, right? But below that or above that, you don't have time to write. Below that, it's not acceptable, right? At least a 10% variation will be allowed. So that is what, right? So 150, 200 words and 250 words. And 150 words is more important because whatever the things you know that will be given in the crux, crisp and precise, right? It's like taking the juice out of the fruit, essence, right? So you should know the essence of the thought. Okay. So now the type of question, account for, analyze. Content is same. The question differs. That's why the third point I say structure and presentation. You are going to present the content according to the question asked, right? So and understand the question according to the things. Account for, analyze, argue against or argue for, comment on the proposition, critically analyze, critically comment. So here the one thing important is comment. What do you mean by comment? You are creating about analysis, you know. What is an analysis? Let us say if you are in a medical lab, blood report analysis. What analysis comes with? A report. Yes, this and this is there. Okay. Similarly, in analysis, your answer should come with the report. Yes, this is the end thing. ஒரு ஃபார்மட் வச்சிருக்கீங்க வே ஃபார்வர்ட் who said it the way forward, right? They never asked you unless and until they ask you, right, what is the way forward, don't go for way forward, right? Simply stop with the analysis. That's what UPSC expects. Okay, discuss. What discussion? Even mere discussion, I put forward some point, you put forward some point, at last at some point we have to agree upon and the discussion should end. That is it. Okay, right? Then comment, like a commentary. You watch the cricket match. What a commentator will do, he will describe the course of the match, and based on the trend, he will predict this thing will happen or that will happen, right? So that is what the commentary is. A general, right, understanding of what you know about a particular thing. So where each and every question differs. Understand, right? So compare and contrast are straight questions. You don't need to think much. Just compare, contrast. Do you agree? Whether you agree or not. If yes, give points for them. If no, give points for them, right? Examine. A doctor examines and he comes with what? A finding. That's finding. You just say what is the finding of your examination. Okay. Explain. What do you do? Straight question. Just explain. Don't go beyond that. Okay. Enumerate. Number of things are there. They're going to bring out, list out the thing. Enumerate. Number of factors. Then elucidate. In a lucid way, with the example, you're going to elucidate. Elaborate. Go detail. Go in a more detailed way. Okay. Explicate. Explanation with a critical analysis. right? Why this thing happened? Explicate. Okay. Evaluate. You have been put in a judge. Now you can say this is good or bad. Evaluation. Okay, right? Then give reasons. Yes. Identify. What are the reasons? Just justify. Take sides. Okay. Substantiate. This is it. The questions will be here, but the content is the same. Nothing more than this. Okay, right? Now we are going to tune our mind in such a way that, right, we are going to present our content in a way it can be written according to the questions asked. Okay, right? So now this is what actually, of course, so I have many comparisons here, right? So the previous year questions I'll tell you for just a sample, right? This is how the questions will be. Analyze the relationship between natural rights and human rights. Say, actually, it's a topic in rights, 5th unit in section A of paper 1, right? Here, like, what the question is? Analysis. What analysis about? Relationship between 1, natural rights and 2, human rights. Now, you have to link it in a way of what? Analyzing the relationship. So, how to do that? Only by knowing what is natural right and human rights and how the natural rights in a way led to the human. So, the subject matter you will come to know once the subject is there, right? Explicate the features of representative democracy. Explain, coming with illustrations and a critical way say that, yes, what is a representative democracy, right? So, note the word. What is the content here? It is representative. Everywhere, inequality is a cause of revolution. It's a quote by Aristotle. It's a comment. Now, how will you comment? Explaining what Aristotle said, whether it happens, whether it's true or not, and a commentary should end either yes or no. Section B, right? Analyze the significance of the Article 32 of the Indian Constitution. Analysis, right? So, where it is not about Article 32. Now, right? Article 32, Ambedkar called as a heart and soul of the Constitution. It talks about constitutional remedies, 5 writs, right? Habeas corpus, that is written, super. You haven't understand the question, right? And the content is irrelevant, okay? Structure and presentation is missing. That's right. So, this is what. So, where I say each and everything carries equal marks. 1/3 for understanding, 1/3 for content, 1/3 for presentation. Okay. In 10 mark question, the maximum mark you can score is 7. And then a good answer can get 6 marks. Right? An average answer can get 5 marks. Okay. And if you are scoring below that means you are not average. Right? I say anything above average will give you a score of 260 to 280. Right? A good performance will land you in 280 to 300. And an extraordinary performance will give you 300 plus. Okay. And of course, extraordinary performance is possible for everyone. Right? Say, again I say, language doesn't matter. It is all how you are going to present it, how you understand the things, right? Then critically examine the role of governor in recent times. Yes, you are going to examine. Then analyze the position of the Prime Minister in India in a coalition regime, right? So you can take from the thing. So what Manmohan Singh was, what Modi is, right? So before the BP, there are things. So that India after independence. So I say there's a book, NCRT is there. Apart from that, there are 2 books. One is Bipin Chandra, India after independence. Then there is Ramchandra Guha, India after Gandhi. Okay, there are 2 books. Both are good, but Ramchandra Guha will be slightly leftist. Okay, right? Apart from that, there is a market book. Right? So I will say that while going by syllabus simplification for each and every topic, what are the books to study, and of course we will cover in the class notes. Apart from that, I say always advise that have a book. Okay, right? So this is it. Then in paper 2, discuss the impact of globalization on the internal functioning of the state. State எப்படி வந்து it is impacting. So what is it? Whether India is feeling the impact of globalization. America, third world countries. Yes, right? We are going to say. Examine in brief the rise and fall of Cold War. Nothing but the reasons. Simply said the reasons. Is India's quest for a permanent seat in the Security Council a possibility or just a private? Elaborate with the reasons. If say yes, you say yes. Yeah, no, right? Then section B, What are the hope and aspirations of Lookie's policy of India? Explain. Straight question. What are the hopes and aspirations? Unless and until you know what are the Lookie's policy and what are the goals set and what are the achievements, you cannot say anything about it. More content here. Right? Illustrate. You see, illustrate the main causes of tension between India and China. Some recent examples. What how its illustration? Galwan Valley incident, right? LOC incident, South China Sea things. So illustrate. Okay. Then and suggest possibilities of improving the Ingala forward, right? Not in other questions. Critically analyze India's nuclear policy. Whether it is viable, critically means whether it is viable or not. Okay. This is what the model question is, right? So how do you feel the question is? Whether it is connecting with you. Connect பண்ண முடியுதா? So can you do it? If you can do it, if you can understand it, then you can handle political science. இவ்வளவுதான் political science, right? Nothing more than this. Okay, right? So now this program. So I've done just given a, right, so a view of what political science is. Now I'm going to say how we are going to do it. Okay. Actually, the class starts by next week. That is Saturday, 30th of July. So 30, 31, and every week till I said the January end, 6 months, sometimes 1 or 2 weeks extra, right? Where the classes will be by 9 to 12:45. So a 15 minutes break in between. Okay, right? And then after each and every section is over, right? We'll be going for a test along with discussion. The discussion may be either in the weekend, right? Or else don't have time, we'll going in the weekdays, preferably in the Fridays. Okay, right? Then you can ask the doubts while in the class or else after the class is over. Okay, right? And if you find any difficulty at any point of time, in a class the sir, right? Sir, I'm in online, right? So you can always, right? So come to me in Telegram. Okay, so we'll form a group where I'll be there also, right? You can ask me doubts, okay? Or you can send me voice notes. I'll come back with voice notes. Okay. Then you want me down, I'll be there in my cabin. You can come and meet me. I will always be approachable except during the class times and after 10 o'clock. Okay, that's the only sleeping time for me. I don't sleep in the daytime. Okay, so this is it. And now, anything else to be asked? Any doubts? Anything about? Shall we close the session? இல்ல 23rd டெஸ்ட் பேட்ச் முடிக்கல. There's a reason. 30 ஒரு வாரம் தள்ளி போறோம். அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி ஒரு வாரம் தள்ளி போகும். சிலபஸ் ஷார்டன் ஆகாது, கிளாஸ் டைம் எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் ஆகும். That's it. Okay. There anything? Online? இல்ல இப்ப நீங்க நியூ என்சிஆர்டிக்கே போங்க. அதுல 9th 10th டெமோக்ராட்டிக் பாலிடிக்ஸ் சும்மா பாருங்க. சோசியோ பொலிட்டிக்கல் லைஃப் ஜிஎஸ் பாப்பீங்க. இங்க 9th 10th பாத்துக்கோங்க. இந்தியன் கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் ஒர்க், பொலிட்டிக்கல் தியரி. Say till you come to the 1 week time. You have 1 week time. You can refer the NCRTs. We will give a fair idea. ஒரு ஸ்டேட்னா என்ன, சும்மா உடனே போய் ஸ்டடி. இப்போ நான் சொன்ன விஷயங்கள் தான் அதில் இருக்கும். Just don't worry about it. Okay, right. இல்ல நான் சொல்றேன், ஒரு வேலை எப்படி சொல்லிட்டேன் இருந்துச்சுன்னா ஈவினிங் ஸ்டார் டிஸ்கஷன். ஓகே, ரைட். தென் நீங்க ஒழுங்கா இருப்பீங்களா? எவ்வளவு கேட்கலையா? சரி, ஓகே, ரைட். இது வீக்கெண்ட் பேட்ச். Weekdays batch will start only in September end, evening 6 to 8. Okay. Test batch is going on. It's there. Okay. நான் மட்டுமே தான் இருக்கும். ரைட். என் டொமைன்ல யாரையும் விடுறது கிடையாது. ஏன்னா நான் கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப பாசிட்டிவா இருந்தேன். ஓகே, ரைட். சரி, ஐ வில் பிரிங் ஃபார் சும்மா ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷனுக்கு சர்வீஸ் வாங்கணும் கூட்டு வரலாம். தட்ஸ் டிப்ஸ் அண்ட் ட்ரிக்ஸ் தான் இருக்கு. ரைட். Conceptual thing, I won't compromise on it anybody. Okay. And I had a bad experience in 2013 when I left someone, right? So that the students are very dissatisfied. I rather solely, right? Single-handedly, right? It's done by me. Okay. I am the master gunner. Okay. Right. Then material, static part கொடுப்போம், class notes கொடுப்போம், அது போக books நீங்க கண்டிப்பா வாங்கணும். Okay. So my advice is, you can't take chances. So I cannot lie that my material is enough. Right? So because my sincere aim is to get into service. That is it. Okay, right? There is no proper source material in the earth which says it is completely enough. Okay, self-sufficient material உனக்கு கிடையவே கிடையாது. Right? If it is there, then everyone will be scoring around 300 plus. It is the originality and ingenuity which comes or which gives the mark. Okay. Then classes proceed, I'll give. So the first class I start with first paper, syllabus familiarization, each and every unit what it deals with. Okay. Then what are the books to look into for? So I'll tell you the syllabus familiarization session, standard books and other things. The book. Okay. சரி நான் இல்ல போட்டு குரூப்ல ஆட் பண்ணி விட்ட உடனே புக் த லிஸ்ட். ஒன்ஸ் குரூப்ல ஆட் பண்ண உடனே அந்த லிஸ்ட் புக்ல இப்ப போட்டுருவோம். அதுல போடும் போதே சொல்லுவோம் எது ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் புக்ஸ் எது ரெஃபரன்ஸ் புக். மொத்தம் 20 புக் இருக்கு, பயந்துடாதீங்க. ரெஃபரன்ஸ் புக் இஸ் தட். இஃப் யூ ஹேவ் டைம் ரைட் டு சி இந்த லைப்ரரியோ இல்ல இருந்தா பாத்துக்கோ. ஓகே, ஏன்னா இப்ப கொஞ்சம் புக் அப்டேட் பண்ணிருக்கேன். ஓகே, இந்தியன் சே there is a doubt, சார் ஃபாரின் ஆத்தர்ஸ் புக்கா இந்தியன் ஆத்தர்ஸ் புக்கா? நான் எப்பயுமே ஐ பேட் ஃபார் இந்தியன் ஆத்தர்ஸ். Okay, right? Yeah, I mean, they know the Indian conditions best and they come with Indian examples. So that will be easily understandable and their language will be easily, right, so connective. Right? Foreign authors, or entity. Yeah, the examples they quote is something which are not familiar with. That is it. Okay, right? So, now Indian authors, it's either way it's good. I will tell you, I will come with a list of books. Okay, and if now for a book, now a book, it's Political Theory by O.P. Goba. So the 9th edition, you go for it. So if just one, you go for OP Goba, that will do. Then rest of thing will go for the classes. Andrew Haywood, more units cover. I'll take yes. Political Theory by OP Goba. Western Political Thought, you go by Sushila Ramasamy and Subrata Mukherjee. Of course, I'll give it, right? So you'll come to know. Okay. Then online, do you have any doubts? Yes. Yes, of course. Well, online class, offline class, recorded videos will be there till the course is completed. Okay, course முடிஞ்சு ஒரு மாசம் வரைக்கும் you will be given access to recorded videos also. Okay. Yes, of course. கண்டிப்பா தாராளமா. ரைட், நாங்க படிக்கும் போது லட்சுமிகாந்த் கிடையாது. So டிவி பஸ் மட்டும், அதனால தான் அது அப்டேட் ஆகல. அதான் it gives a strong foundation. It is. சரி, நீங்க எங்கேயாவது எடுத்துக்காட்டுங்க பிலிம்ஸ் லட்சுமிகாந்த் எங்கேயா யூஸ் ஆச்சு எடுத்துக்காமீங்க. நீங்க எல்லாமே பாத்தீங்கன்னா என்சிஆர்ல கேட்கிற கொஸ்டின்ஸ் தான். மெயின்ஸ்ல எங்கேயுமே அவன் மெயின்ஸ் கேட்ட கொஸ்டின் எதுவுமே உங்களுக்கு புரியாத மாதிரியே இருக்கு. ரீசன் இஸ் தட் யூ ஹேவ் பீன் given to points. ஒரு 10-20 பாயிண்ட் லைனா கொடுத்துறான். நம்ம ஓகே இத படிச்சுட்டோம். கொஸ்டினை பார்த்தோம் இது எதுல எந்த பாயிண்ட போட்டு தெரியாது. தட் இஸ் அ ப்ராப்ளம். ஆல்வேஸ் கோ ஃபார் டெக்ஸ்ட் புக். டெக்ஸ்ட் புக் will give a clarity. Okay. Doesn't matter. Bakshi நல்ல புக் தான். Right? Say source material doesn't matter. For information, I say Mr. Prabhu Shankar, who is the district collector now, right? He was also a student of political science, right? So he's in Karur now. He got already a 7th rank. You won't believe that. அவர் என்ன புக் படிச்சாரு? நான் சொன்ன புக் எதுவுமே படிக்கல. ரெண்டு மார்க்கெட் கைடு, ரைட்? ஸோ ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம், இட் கம்ஸ் வித் மார்க்கெட் கைட் ஃபார் பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ். ரெண்டு புக்கை படிச்சுட்டு he has presented in his own way. It is not about the books. It's about your understanding and presentation. அதுதான், ரைட்? சே புக்ஸ் எதுக்காக? ஒரு மாரல் சப்போர்ட் நமக்கு. ஓகே, லட்சுமிகாந்த் படிக்கலன்னா அந்த ஃபீல்டுக்கு தகுதி இல்லாம ஆகி போயிடும். ஏன்னா எல்லா பார்த்தா கையில் லட்சுமிகாந்த் வச்சிருக்கான். ஓ நம்ம ஏதோ குறை இருக்கு போல, அந்த ஃபீலிங் இல்லாம இருக்கிறது அந்த புக். மற்றபடி ஆல் த புக்ஸ் ஆர் சேம். ஓகே, ஸோ எவ்ரி புக் டெல்ஸ் த சேம் ஸ்டோரி இன் a different page. அவ்வளோ. Google Meet. So Google Meet is better than the Zoom link. Okay, right? So ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ண ஈஸியா இருக்குது, ரைட்? வந்துடும். Then okay, online.
Hello
Any doubts?
student ID அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணுவீங்களா? நாங்க லெக்சர்
I think your voice is not hearing. You come in the chat box.
Okay.
Here, can I come in the chat box? I'll tell you. Okay. So it's necessary for political page in Hindu paper. Say here, in fact, It is not necessary to look into each and every aspect in the Hindu paper. Just look for what is relevant in the syllabus. And Manjula, you can contact the admin reception for the fees details. Okay. And Kirtana, will we get any student uh, access to lectures? Yes, you can contact the reception admin, right? So they will give you some sample videos. Okay, right? It is there. Anything else? Okay, thank you. So thank you all. Yes.